ground reality. Okay, as in like, okay, now let's say your award got into IIT. That means the life is set, right? To be honest, in their perception.
Yeah.
At least, okay, because that's the
Based
belief.
on-
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
that's the general belief. You get into IIT, you will get placed high levels, and you, of course, the job is guaranteed. That's the belief in system.
Yeah.
But then that ground reality has also have changed. Like, for example, according to Hindu, 22% of IIT Delhi graduates have not been placed in the last 5 years.
22% of IIT Delhi graduates have not been placed in the last 5
They're
years.
unemployed. Okay, and 36% of IIT Bombay also haven't. If we look into the overall IIT right now, like the 23 campuses all over India, there is 38% of IIT graduates who are unemployed.
38%. Okay.
So now you're telling me you invested, let's say, 11th and 12th in coaching institute, cutting off all play activity, cutting off friends, cutting off your any free time, hobbies, focusing only on your entrance exam. After clearing that 2 years of trauma, you're getting into an engineering college of 4 years, then training, then waiting for your placement, and then not getting placed.
Yeah.
And see, it
I
gets
think
even
that's
worse.
what they mean when they say don't put all your eggs in one basket.
See, it gets worse because IITs are known for giving high packages, but then Economic Times reports that it has gone below 10 lakhs per annum, or even as below as 6 lakhs per annum.
10 lakhs or 6 lakhs per annum,
Yeah, see,
you won't even get the return on your investment
at all.
at that point. Yeah.
See, the whole point of middle class putting all their investment, taking
Yeah,
loan
yeah.
and then educating their
So
child
I'm
is to
just
do
trying to
that.
understand, like a middle class family who have spent, say, their 5 years or 10 years career earnings on a kid's education, and the kid is getting 6 lakhs per annum as a return.
Yeah.
That's like, if, the thing is, you can't really blame the kid for it because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's the way the system is set up.
Yeah.
But it's gonna like result in like the family blaming them, disappointed in them.
Yeah, so that causes more
That causes
mental
more
issue
friction,
and
more,
like pressure on them, and like then low self-esteem, anxiety, even depression, all can be caused from this. Okay.
Yeah.
If you look into like there are science reports as like research papers on like mental health issues from the examinations, the entrance examinations of India. They have been saying how the kids have lost their self-esteem, gone into severe anxiety as well as chronic depression and all.
Yeah.
Like these entrance exams have triggered those things. So it is not
I see
like
how they
a
could do
short-term thing. Like
Yeah.
in Kota Factory is a series. You haven't watched.
No, I haven't watched it.
So there is a famous dialogue in it. The student leaves Kota, but Kota never leaves the student. The trauma, what not only Kota, but any science institutes or like the coaching institutes that put it on the students. So that trauma takes a much longer time than that 2 years. And see, that is after, even if you don't get into JEE, it's going worse. Because now you're questioning your self-worth also because you haven't got
Say
it.
for example, even if like everything falls into place,
Everything falls into place.
You go to Kota or you go to any coaching institute,
You get
survive
JEE,
that,
you get into
get
IIT.
into that, get in a job and all that. Okay, how are you gonna all of this trauma and all of this like, shit that you've been through in the last say 4 or 5 years? How is that gonna help you live as like
Build a social life.
in your social life as like, because I feel like once you go through all of this, you're gonna lose all empathy. You're gonna lose all sense of like just people around you. You're gonna lose every like how you're gonna be as a citizen in the community. Because education is supposed to be about like
A holistic development thing.
yeah, it's not just like okay, I can like you ask me a question, I can like give you a 15-mark answer without even thinking about it. Like that's not education. Because education is primarily like you need to be like understanding, respectful. You need to be like someone who can coexist in society. That's what like
Who can think outside the box and bring
yeah,
innovative solutions.
that's what education
is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But then I think, see, of course, till now we have been discussing how like the whole college system could be a thing that not work according to your belief system.
According to your belief system.
Because even if IIT graduates are not getting placed now. When we look into overall India, there are few reports that say 23.
Yeah, the thing about unemployment calculation, right? The way they calculate unemployment is India has the Indian unemployment report, which they put out every year. They have a very weird way of calculating unemployment, right? Because according to me, unemployment is not just a person who's sitting at home without a job,
Mm.
right? Like it's also someone who is, say for example, you have a degree in engineering, or like you have an MBA or something, and you're working much below your pay scale. You're doing something, say as a clerk or as a watchman or something. They still should be considered as unemployed because the investment that you put in and like the knowledge that you have, and after all that you're doing something which like, say you all the qualification you need to do that was like a 10th pass, right? So that also should be taken into consideration.
Yeah.
Whereas according to the way it is calculated, only people with a legitimate degree and legitimate degree who are searching for jobs and haven't gotten the job, that particular job, for over a few months, only they are considered as unemployed, right? So in order to qualify as unemployed according to the Indian employment report, you need to have like a education, a good college degree. You need to also, if you stop looking for jobs, if in that particular field you stop looking for jobs and you're like, I'm just going to do something, I give up, over there also you're not considered unemployed.
Okay.
So
Because I'm looking at Forbes India's report by Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, CMI. In January 2024, it has gone the lowest, as in like the age between 20 and 30, unemployment among youth who are aged between 20 and 30
20 and 30.
is 45%. So
Yeah,
you're telling me
one out of
half
every
two or
three in
one out of two,
youth.
to be honest, because to almost
Yeah,
half.
almost half of it.
Yeah, 45% is unemployed. Like, so
Yeah.
where is the system working?
But see, the thing is, we have these conversations, right? But also simultaneously, there are people who are having conversations about a $5 trillion economy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's very easy for us to say that like this stat where there are like 29.1% of people who have a college degree are unemployed. Why? COVID. It's very easy for people to just like
Blame it on
blame
some
it on COVID.
Yeah.
Right? Like nowadays, it's been a trend. Like the last 3 years, anything else you just be like, oh, the COVID
Yeah,
affected
during COVID it
this one and
happened.
all. But if you notice, like the big industries, the big businesses, the big players, people are on the top of the industry. They are growing at
of
a
course.
rate. Like all of these, like people are getting like defense contracts. People are getting like other airport contracts. People who are providing, say something as simple as like sugar, coffee. All of these industries are still booming.
Yeah,
and people
there
are
was
making,
that report, as in like India's like disparity among the rich and the poor is all-time high, even compared to when India was colonized
by the British. Yeah.
So, so we are being in a worse condition
Yeah.
than when we were colonized.
Yeah. So the thing is, last episode we spoke about how like 1% of the country owns 40%.
40% of the economy. Yeah.
So I looked more into that, and the top 10% of the country contributes to 90% of the country's GDP, approximately, right? GDP worth $5 trillion is owned primarily by the top 10% of the country, right? So if you, and it becomes worse when you take into consideration India is a country with 1.4 billion people. In global rankings, we are top 5 when it comes to like development or when it comes to like GDP ranking. When it comes to not GDP rank, economies, top 5.
GDP also, I think, because GDP is
I'm not
the
sure about
total,
GDP.
total income by the country.
But like economy wise, we are top 4, top 5, right? So how
even though we are in the top 5, still the disparity between the upper class and the middle class and the lower class is so different or vast right now. And the other thing is, like, we have seen reports where in the next 5 to 10 years a middle class person cannot have healthcare, cannot have private education, cannot have housing, like without renting out or something, cannot own a vehicle also. They are saying the reports. So
like
that's because of the disparity that has happened.
The things 70 years ago we fought for as a basic right are now again going to become a privilege once more.
Yeah.
It's basically like going in that loop again.
I don't think so, because 70 years before we were fighting for freedom. We have the freedom now. It's just no basic necessities. I mean, that and all, of course, we have. But then
that's another episode.
Healthcare, but
That's another
healthcare
debate.
is, of course, basic necessity we need to have. And if report says a middle class person in next 5 to 10 years, if they can't afford a healthcare, that is
like, I think it's bad that they specify a middle class person can't afford it, because like at that point you've just given up on people under the poverty line. You're like we don't calculate that, or we don't care about that anymore.
That is also there. Now, like, so okay, we were discussing about the education system. I think one of the biggest changes as a solution that the government has brought up is the NEP in 2020. NEP bill was passed, which was the National Education Policy. And see, that is a great step towards education system. Okay,
I
as
mean,
in...
all I know about NEP is it confused our college life.
Oh yeah. I think we should start from how it changes the schooling system, then I'll discuss how it was for the college.
Okay, so
Okay.
I guess so you're going to talk about NEP. NEP also affects the schooling system?
Yes, NEP primarily affects the schooling system.
Okay.
Okay. As in, like, you know how 10 plus 2 structure was there?
Yeah, the 10th grade and then 11th,
11th and 12th.
Or
And the 11th and 12th, it will be vocational courses. That whole system is scrapped out. It will be 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Now, I'll say, first one is the foundational stage of 5 years. When I say 5 years, it includes that Anganwadi system,
Okay.
that lower kindergarten, upper kindergarten, first standard and second standard.
Okay.
In this first 3 years, right, the Anganwadi, upper kindergarten and lower kindergarten, they are only focusing on toy-based education. So through play, whether it be simple puzzles, pattern tracing, board games, and to increase the problem solving and to bring in like creativity in the students, which is a good initiative. Okay, because in our times and all, I mean, when we were learning upper kindergarten, lower kindergarten, we were trying to learn how to read, write.
Cursive writing books were given to us.
Yeah, depending upon which school you were in, you will have much more severe.
I went to a high school. Cursive.
Fine.
Didn't result in anything. I'm sitting with only.
Fine, yeah, flex your privilege right now. I mean, okay, so first 3 years will be like that, and then the first standard and second standard, okay, that will be like giving a basic of all the subjects and mainly focusing on foundation of literacy and numerical skills, writing and maths. Okay,
So these are like basic, like writing, basic calculations,
and also
all
basic level of all subjects are given.
Okay.
Okay, like physics, chemistry.
Okay.
Which was usually given in 6th.
Yeah.
This in a basic level they will give an understanding. Then comes second is the preparatory stage of 3 years. Grade 3, grade 4, grade 5. In that it is much more focused on the style of teaching. As in, like, you know how usually what happens is in grade 3 to 5 or grade till 12, a teacher comes, takes classes, we go, then we go home. Right,
Yeah.
but the whole style of teaching is going to change. It's going to be much more focused on question and answer state, as in like the gurukul system.
Yeah.
Gurukul system mainly worked if the student asks the question, the teacher answers about it.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
No, the Gurukul system relied on the student asking the question.
Yeah, mainly.
It was like the student has to.
As to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the focus now.
Okay.
Okay, and also there will be focus on native languages. As in, like, if you're from Karnataka and if you're studying in Karnataka, Kannada will be compulsory, English will be compulsory, and along with it one additional language, any regional language, Marathi, Hindi, Urdu, Malayalam, anything. So according to the state, so that we can keep our mother tongues or the state's regional language alive, which is also a good initiative. Now when we look into the third stage, which is the middle stage, grade 6 to 8. Okay, in grade 6 to 8 is where vocational courses are introduced. See, this is much more interesting now. The students have to have an internship. It is compulsory from grade 6 to 8.
6 to 8, okay.
Okay, see, which is a great initiative.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can get into the practical world, understand what
Because
it is.
up until now, a lot of us have had book knowledge, but we haven't had practical knowledge.
And even practical was what? Pendulum we throw and that pendulum goes like this, or take the salt and burn it on the fire.
I've gotten kicked out of the lab because I broke test tube buttons. So
I mean, 11th and 12th, 11th what I did was like take the salt, see what color it is. And I remember like when we went to the lab for the exam, it was green and my friend was like, no ma'am, I need purple. So that's the level of practical education we had.
I think in this one, their favorite thing is that litmus test. We just dip it, color change, like chemistry, done, science.
I remember like a pink, it's a girl man. But yeah, the much more focus is on vocation, as in, and not like physics, chemistry, nothing like that. It's like you will be trained beauty wellness, like cosmetology department, or mass media, or let's say AI, travel and tourism. So real world application subjects or fields, that's where. So you know how like we say under the age of 14, if you're working, that's child exploitation. But if it's not paid and it's called an internship, it's fine. It's training.
Yeah.
Okay, shouldn't go.
I did not expect this to go that way.
No, but see, it's really good for the students because I feel like in India, a lot of students have different
child labor
interests.
does bring a responsibility. You would know.
No, different interests are there for a lot of students, but you can only understand if you once you explore those options. Like once you like do a 1 month internship in like let's say mass media, you understand, okay, whether you are interested in the field or
Yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
Now, once you try like travel and tourism, see, in the middle stage, it's also prescribed, like, for example, let's say a student has to work in travel and tourism department. It's best if they can get the internship or training from local businesses, local like
Yeah.
travel agency. So it boosts them
It supports
as
the
well as
local
supports
business.
the education system as well. Okay. And then the last comes secondary, 9 to 12. You know how the whole board exam thing was there, 10th and 12th board
Yeah.
exam? That's gonna get scraped out. As in, like, how it works out.
Huh.
So-
Our prayers have finally been answered.
Yeah, the exams will be divided into semesters, like in colleges. First semester, second semester, like
Okay,
that.
okay.
And the other thing is that from 9 to 12, in 11th and 12th, we had science, commerce, humanities, no differentiation. You can take up physics, economics, and political science.
Okay.
You are not confined by a syllabus that is prescribed by the school. Now you can choose your own subjects, and you can. There will be 5 compulsory subjects and then 2 skill-based optional courses.
Okay, so it's going to become like a university type thing where you can pick the class you get to go sit in. You want to go sit in.
Yeah, an American university maybe.
Yeah. When I say university.
Okay. See, so 5 compulsory and 2 skill based, I say. No.
Yeah.
Now let's say 12th, you wrote the exam, you failed one of the compulsory, but you cleared your 2 optional. You are passed. You don't fail there. So
Colleges should adapt to this. I'll get degree if they.
so when we look into the entire system, there is combination of gurukul system,
Yeah.
and the modern revival of like our education system,
Yeah.
which supports like a holistic and practical level of
Like
education.
the few things I have understood from what you've told me is firstly it
Much more
pressure, no pressure on
pressure.
students to like, because earlier it was like this is the subject. If you can't do well at math, it means you're done.
Done, yeah.
If you can't do well at physics, you're done.
Yeah.
If you can't do well at bio, you're done. Whereas this one, it reduces the pressure on the students. The second thing is it. What is that? I think we more interactive.
More
If
interactive,
it's
like a
implemented in the
holistic
correct-
level of
If it's
education.
implemented in the correct way, we can each one will be taught in their preferred learning style. This one. The other thing is internships,
Yeah.
which one you gain experience,
Yeah.
or secondly you realize this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of us we thought like we want to do psychology,
Some
and we
students
know
realize they don't want to.
they
some-
want after the internship, right? And this is like in the final year.
I want to do.
Yeah. You have other reasons which we will not get into. That's another episode.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was introduced in 2020. Up until now, of course, it hasn't been implemented.
Yeah.
There have been reports where the NEP system will be on trial run for 10 schools, 10 government schools. But of course, it is going to take a lot of time because this education
Yeah.
system that is currently present have been present from
Over
1835.
100 years.
Yeah. So suddenly we can't change the entire thing. Gradually, of course, I'm looking forward to that. Because giving students their choice to work according
So
to
how
their
close
will,
are we to implementing this?
it might take few more years. See, NEP got implemented in the college, higher education
Yeah,
level, and
college
we are the
higher,
trial
yeah.
run rats for it.
Lab rats, yeah.
Yeah, so in the country, NEP was first introduced and implemented in Karnataka. And in Karnataka, our batch got it first.
Yeah. He got COVID and NEP at the same
But see, even in NEP in college system is a really good opportunity because you know how before you enter a college, you have to finish the 3 years,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you get a degree. Now with NEP,
No, but it's actually beneficial. I think the problem we had was the teachers, the students, the college, the administration, everyone was confused about it.
yeah,
No
because
one had,
it
like-
was a policy
yeah,
was
yeah, it
new.
was a
No one
new-
knew the clarity of it. Right?
Because we were all figuring it out together. But I
Together.
think like right now when you look back at it, mostly like double major only so difficult to pass. Triple
Yeah.
major and all.
No, I mean, see, like NEP is in college, it gives you the first benefit is entry and exit points.
Yeah.
Like if you enter college, you did 1 year of education and you left.
Yeah.
Imagine, you will get a certificate.
You get a certificate.
Okay, and then you can join later also. To
Yeah,
second
yeah.
year at any point.
That was the one thing which like I liked because like the first year you get a certificate, the second year you get like a diploma.
Diploma.
Also. Third year you get a degree. Fourth year you get honors.
Fourth year is
Yeah.
like optional if you want to get in, then
Yeah.
honors. But if you get an honors, you can avoid masters and get
Do
directly
direct
into
PhD.
PhD. So within 4 years, you technically do your masters as well, which was a good system.
Yeah.
Okay, but then the issue came, as in like at the time when NEP was introduced for us, it was in Karnataka, right? Like I said,
Yeah.
only Karnataka had implemented, not the
Yeah.
other states. First issue was like, what about like now when we pass out, what if we go to other states to study? Other states didn't implement any EP.
Yeah.
Even if we did 4 years, we can't go do PhD in some other states. They need
Yeah.
masters still. So the India
But
didn't
if you
adopt
do
it in
4
like
years
a,
in Karnataka, like my doubt is you do 4 years in Karnataka and you get a PhD.
In
That
Karnataka.
PhD is valid the same everywhere, right?
yeah, but then there is no clarity whether that PhD has the same value everywhere now.
Okay.
So that clarity, and the other thing is in 2021 when it was introduced for colleges, the BJP government was there in state. Last year when the Congress government came into power, they scraped out NEP.
Yeah.
Okay, the main reason they gave was because they only implemented NEP in Karnataka, so the students were actually confused. If they want to study
Yeah.
masters or PhD from some other state, or if they want to go outside also, as it was a new policy and new structure, no one had the exact idea of how it was going to work.
Yeah.
But then the Congress introduced something called the State Education
State
Policy,
education,
SEP.
yeah.
But till now there hasn't been any mentions of what the structure will be like and how it works or anything.
Which is another problem in our country because like education gets caught in between all the political issues.
Yeah.
Which is I
One
feel-
like if one party comes and
Yeah.
introduces something, the other party comes and they are like, no, we need to scrap it. But solid points are there on both sides. I understand like
Yeah.
like I'm a person who wanted to do my masters in some other state. I was looking forward to working like studying in Mumbai, Delhi, or Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like whether will I be able to do my masters or should I get into my PhD. But by the time we reached third year, government changed. The fourth year went out from my options itself, so I
Yeah.
can't do my fourth year. So it depends on like how well your political situation. So yeah,
Yeah.
politics matter a lot. I see a lot of Gen Z students saying apolitical. No
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
your entire system works around politics.
That's
So that's like
Two things I never understand is apolitical and asexual. Like, okay, another episode, another
No, asexual maybe okay, fine. I
another
understand.
episode, another conversation.
Okay. See, then so NEP was the first solution. Second solution is career counselors. Okay, in India, according to reports, like according to Economic Times, for the 350 million students in the country, there is a requirement for 1.4 million career counselors. Okay, and see, that is 1.4 million career counselors. Right now, what we have called so-called counselors in most places are not career counselors; they are academic counselors. People don't know the difference between career counselors and academic counselors. I'll just brief it out. Career counselor is someone who is trained to help you or guide you in the path that you want to follow.
Okay.
Academic counselor is someone academic counselor is just the middleman who gets you admission into a certain college. For example, let's say if you want to get into Jain College, there is some middleman is there who will take this much and certain percentage of that money they will earn. Okay.
So academic counselors are people you reach out to like when you want to like get admissions abroad and all you reach out to them.
Yeah.
And like they give you like a list of colleges where you should apply to this one, how much it will cost.
Yeah.
That
so
one.
they don't help you what course to take, they just help you with the college.
Okay.
You should know what course to take. So, but see, that is the issue, right? Career counselor, there is a high need or a very substantial need for career counselors in India because after 10th, no one knows if to take science, commerce, humanities according to the current system. Now, even if they take science, they don't know what all opportunities they can apply to. If they take commerce, other than like CA, BCom, BBA, what all can I do it? Or like, let's say if you take humanities, other than like going for journalism, political science, psychology, what else is there? Most people are unaware of the choices that are there for them. Okay, this is because whenever we take science, the first thing in mind is engineering, medical. If you take commerce, chartered accountancy, BCom, BBA, humanities like those. But like
humanities like those.
No, I mean, see, there are fields in India that we are not even considering. Some people are not even aware of. For example, let's say the wedding industry. Being a wedding planner in India, you will be amazed at the amount of money generated only
by the Ambanis,
no, not only Ambanis. The wedding industry, as in like, okay, report says 4.25 lakh crore.
Damn.
Yeah, 4.25 lakh crore.
Like, which year is this?
I don't remember. Was it last year? I think. I don't remember the exact detail. Even if it is in a 5-year time, or if it's for one particular year, 4.25 lakh crore is not a small amount for an industry at all.
Yeah.
Right. Now that is just the wedding industry, and there is industries like people never consider like, okay, I have seen people who come up to me during counseling. They're like, when I ask them their hobbies, they say me like, okay, I like baking, I like cooking. I ask them like, have you ever considered that as a career? They're like, no, it's not a career.
Yeah, the
Like hotel management as a career choice, very few people consider that. Or let's say travel and tourism
Yeah.
as an industry. Or let's say, for example, even in science itself, other than the engineering, medicine side and all, the paramedical courses,
Yeah.
whether it be like optometry, medical data management, or audiology. See, the thing is, most of them are not aware these fields are present, and even if they are aware, they are scared to take it up because not a lot of
Yeah.
people have like tried those opportunities,
Yeah,
or not a lot of people that they are known to in their circle have taken up that, so they also don't. So they go with the things that they are aware of, or like people around them have taken up already.
Yeah.
Which again, like if you take up a course that people around you have taken, that means there's a lot more competition in that field itself.
yeah.
So lesser chance of you getting it.
But I think that again circles back to like the mindset of the middle class
Middle class.
Indian, where we
we see one person neighbor who
Yeah,
did
yeah.
well in engineering got
Yes,
into
yes.
US, and we think we can do the same.
yeah, it's not just that, it's also like taking a leap of faith is very difficult.
Yeah.
Because also there's this other thing of like, if I do something and I fail, there is this public perception of me, I'm going to be considered as a failure. We care a lot more about like what people think about us than say somewhere in the US or like UK or something,
Yeah.
where no one really gives a shit about like what's happening. Like over there, failing over and over is a very normal thing. And as a matter of fact, there are places which celebrate
Yeah.
trying. They don't celebrate failures, but they
Failure.
celebrate trying.
Trying.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like you said, in US and all, we are aware from the pop culture, like the series, movies
Yeah.
that we have watched, like the cultural differences of how they view college education, how Indians view college education. Indians view college education as in a way it's mandatory.
Mandatory. Yeah.
Whereas in US it's more like, are you actually skilled in it? Are you actually
Yes.
interested to do it? Then you get into a degree. It's the perspective is much different. So that matters, like that affects your education as well. Now let's say a student who does engineering is not actually interested, he just took it up for the sake of it. 4 years is gonna be a hell for him.
Yeah.
Because it's not like school where you can survive easily 4 years. Engineering, mathematics, engineering subjects
Yeah.
are not easy to handle. Now, but at same level, if a person who is actually interested, who is aware of what the field is and then chose the field, they are ready already mentally, they're set to take up the challenges. Right? And they're mentally much more prepared to excel in that. So
Yeah.
your perception actually affects how you are moving forward in your career as well.
So, concluding this episode, the question, I think one of the questions we started with was, is college worth it? Or is college necessary? Right. So, as a career counselor, what would your response to this be? And like, I'll answer it after you do.
Okay. So what I've seen is like past 2-3 years. Is college still worth it, or is college mandatory? Depends upon what field you're looking into. First thing is that try to understand what you're actually skilled, interested in, both, and your personality style matches with the career and all. Once you understand that, then you can take the decision whether you have to follow the traditional college path or not. For example, let's say if you want to become a doctor in the most traditional sense,
Yeah.
you can't learn from Coursera and go, I'll do from Udemy, I learned a course, let me go do surgery.
Unless there's a pandemic and you have online classes.
That's a different thing. So you, of course, whether like for example petrochemical engineering, of
Yeah.
course there is a specific skill set that you can mostly only acquire through college.
Yeah.
So you, of course, you will have to go through that traditional route. If you want to get into teaching or professor, of course you will have to qualify your masters and then clear PhD or NET exam, because that's the eligibility, right?
Yeah.
Of course you will have to follow. But now, for example, another field, like a different field, like a design field, a fashion design student, it is not necessary that that person have to go through like private college education,
college,
pay a lot of investment. Because see, I know students who are interested in doing fashion designing, but they are scared of the private education fees that they have to pay.
Yeah.
But to those students, I have to say is, you don't actually have to. Your portfolio matters more than your education at that time. I discussed with a student who's studying in NIFT, National Institute of Fashion Technology. So what that person told me is that if you're a person who's interested in design and wanna make a career out of design field, okay, the whole college education is like gives you a little more preference, little more advantage maybe. Okay, and that also it differs from where you did your education. Let's say if you are doing it from a national institute like NIFT, of course the brand name is there.
So it's more of a credibility source saying like I got into it, not I learned something new.
Yeah, college education doesn't like, of course your CGPA and score and all matters. I'm not going to say it doesn't matter at all, but more than the CGPA scores, what matters is the college name. Because a person can do engineering from IIT or any other private colleges. A person can do MBA from a college in their hometown or from an IIM. Now what is the difference? They might score the same, they might study the same syllabus. The only difference is the college's brand name.
Yeah.
So that makes a difference because the college is connected to certain level of placement office, like companies, the tie-ups that they have. Then the packages differ from that.
Yeah.
So depending upon what field you're interested in, if you have enough resources, go to college.
Yeah.
If you feel like you have to like or sacrifice a lot and take up a lot of loans and then get education, I feel like if it's a field that doesn't require a college degree specifically and it mostly works on your skill set, your portfolio, what you have done, your project works, then you can go forward with it.
Okay.